In this video, we're going to give a short history of Egyptian alphanumerics, or Egypto alphanumerics, or this so-called alphanumeric cosmology, with focus on what we know about Peter Swift's book. So here is the YouTube channel, 18 subscribers, 25 videos. Here is the Reddit sub, launched 20 October A67. Egypto alphanumerics, study of the TO map, Egyptian engineered math, cosmology, origin of the alphabet, language and word invention, how the units digit, palm, foot, cubit, and pebble counting yielded a 28 number letter dynamic. This is an axe or hatchet, lunar script, modular 9 numbered from 1 to 1,000. How lunar script made the first words, for example 1, 2, 3, 4, is A, stars, goose, the female vaginal region of letter B, produced A, alpha, beta, gamma, delta, and how this yielded the word bad, which equals 7. These form the Egypto-Indo-European language family. EIE is the new replacement for the former Proto-Indo-European language family. Here we see Juan Acevedo's PhD dissertation, wherein he talks about the alphanumerics of Plato, Greek, Arabic, and also Hebrew alphanumerics. Published in A65, 352 pages. Acevedo studied classics at University of Los Andes, Venezuela. He completed his PhD in 2018. So this is at the Warburg Institute and University of London. This is my draft manual, or draft cover, of Egypto alphanumerics from 9 months ago. So my work is turned into our 6-volume print set. What exactly alphanumerics means is that originally number R, shown here, was number 100, 5300A, and it is the symbol of a ram about to headbutt another ram, symbol of power. So this is where words such as royalty come from. And letter H was originally number 8 in Egyptian numerals from the J number tags. So alphanumerics means that originally letters, or certain letters, were numbers, so that when we're using English words right now, some of the properties of this number system are coded into the words we use. Mustafa Gadala's Egyptian alphabet book. Published in A61. He says, the Egyptian alphabetical system is the mother of all languages in the world. And so he was the first. If we go to the I-50 tab, to publish about the numerical values of the 28 letters of the alphabet. He says each letter had an underlying numeric as well as phonetic value. The Egyptians used their alphabetical letters as numbers. And over here he talks about the above alphabetical and corresponding numeration system were clearly utilized in the famous ancient Egyptian Leiden I-350, or he calls it J350 papyrus, which confirms that number symbolism had been practiced in Egypt at least since the Old Kingdom, or 2575 BC, a copy of which was reproduced during the reign of Ramses II in the 13th century BC, which explains or presents 28 lunar stanzas called the Mansions of the Moon, numbered 1 to 800. Each stanza mansion begins and ends with a wordplay on the number that heads it. So over here we have the evolution of the alphabet chart, which I made 6 days ago. It has been shared by over 100 people in this sub, 300 people in all the cross posts, and seen by about 100,000 people. And the advanced version of this, posted 2 days ago, shows the Leiden I-350 papyrus right here. So this confirms what Godala is talking about, and also Peter Swift is talking about. So over here he says, Egyptian alpha-numerics, a theoretical framework along with miscellaneous departures. A description of the proposed system, linguistic associations, numeric correspondences, and religious meanings. Part 2, analytics, a detailed presentation of the analytical work. His copy, his draft right now is 400 pages. He started working on this in A17 or 1972. He's been working on this for 51 years, and this is his table of contents, which he emailed to me. So here we see that he coined the word Egyptian alpha-numerics, or he started using it in A43 or 1998. So about 25 years ago. I independently coined the term Egypto alpha-numerics last year, a month before that I even knew who Peter Swift was. And he found me because I posted about the Leiden I-350 papyrus on, go to Leiden I-350, we can go to the page that has the papyrus. Over here you can click on the text and scroll down and see how, for example, stanza 50 in French and English talks about Happy, the Egyptian flood god. And over here we see Leiden I-350 papyrus. Stanza 50 talks about Happy, the flood god. That's 50 in Egyptian mathematics. Happy has his 2 pots of fresh water from his underground spring. And this is this is the royal cubit, where Happy is also shown at the 14th unit, but value 50. And so Happy's cave is located just past the Nile end bend. And the Egyptians believe that the flood was caused by tears of Isis. W15 is the Happy water jug, and here's Happy causing the 150-day flood. So this became the story of Noah, which is why letter Noah starts with N, which is value 50, and we get letter N shaped like the backwards bend of the Nile. And then Noah is also equal to the Ogdod, which is water, letter H. So here's the Ogdod. So the Hebrews took Happy, letter N, plus letter H, the Ogdod, to make a double syncretism of this god plus these 8 gods, and formulated the name Noah. So Peter Swift, let's take a look at he found me on because I posted this Reddit sub. I started posting about the Light 9350 last year. So here we see Peter Swift. He's got a cigar in his mouth. He looks kind of like a rebel. The guy doesn't give a shit about anything. He completed his liberal arts degree at Evanston Kendall College. He was in the Marine Corps Intelligence Training Program. He studied Egyptian philology in A17 at University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. He completed a degree in civil engineering at University of Colorado Boulder. And he's presently the owner of Swift & Associates Civil Traffic Engineering and Town Planners in Gold Hill, Colorado. And he began working on research about the Light 9350 papyrus in A17. He coined the term Egyptian alpha-numerics in A43. And here is an email comment from April 28th last year. Ultimately, the Greek alphabet was derived from the Egyptian, but through several iterations. He says, I have Godala's book. He seems to relate the meanings of the alpha/numeric letters to the Egyptian religion, which is true. Godala tries to make a blend of Egyptian and Islamic religion to make a blurred sort of New Age spirituality. Swift says, makes sense, but I took a different tact, and one I think is a bit more valid. So he talks about the mechanics of the universe, alphabet, and religious structure, tree of life, which will be interesting to read about when the book is published. Jeb, which we know now as letter G, is mediator. He talks about that. Talks about the solar magic cube. That's where the number 666 comes from. I guess his book is going to talk about spiritual evolution, the elements. In other words, these elements, letter number elements that make up a human according to Egyptian cosmology, which corresponds to how we now define the elements of the human as 26 chemical elements. Vanadium is the smallest of a human, shown in the colored here. And this is the human molecular formula. So originally, the elements were letter number cosmic elements, and there are 28 of them. So he's going to talk about that. And then number 22 is going to be great interest to read about. Over here we see the royal cubit broken up into enads. Enad 1, Enad 2, Enad 3, and then 28th letter. So here we see 3 cubit rulers. So we see Enad 1 through 9, Enad circled at, the feather became A, goose became G, there's letter B, that's where B in the vaginal region is D, and then we see Osiris, which became E, Set became Z, Nephthys became the Ogdod, the 9th god of the Enad, became Theta, and then the horse falcon became 10. So here we see that right here. And then Swift also talks about the cubit ruler. So how did these 28 letter cubit ruler become 22 Phoenician alphabet letters? So I posted on this. This has been worked on for the last 2 years, that the Phoenician alphabet came from the first 22 nomes of Upper Egypt. The first 7 nomes are shaped like the Little Dipper, and also the Mishtu mouth opening tool, which lets people speak in the after existence. So we get 7, which is the diameter, and the circumference is 22, which is the 22 different nomes. 22nd nome is right here of Upper Egypt. 22 divided by 7 gives 3.14, and 314 is the word value of Byblos, which is the dot at the center of this circle, which might be, or seems to be, the circle dot here. And Byblos is at the center. So Thebes is the fourth nome. Theba in Greek is 30. 9 plus 8 plus 2 plus 1 plus 10 plus 1, it gives you 30. And the value of letter N is 30. So if we go over here, we see letter N. That's the Mishtu mouth opening tool, shaped like the Little Dipper, shaped like the first 7 nomes of Egypt, value 30. Same as it is here in Phoenician, that's the letter L. Hard to see here, but it's a value 30. And so all of this is a cipher for the mathematics of the cosmos. Here we see the Egyptian version translated into the 28 or 27 Samos Cup Abecedaria letters from the cubit. Where we see there's the ram horn R with his leg butt, headbutt, and these are all ram heads. 100, 200, 300. So this all got reduced into V1 became Greek R. So Swift is going to talk about the Thales of Miletus system, which is the Samos cup, or the 27-letter Greek number system. Assignment validation for Lidenite 350 papyrus. That'll be interesting to read about. He talks about Seshet, which is the numerator goddess. So if we go over here to Lidenite 350 papyrus, here we see Seshet. She's the number goddess, whereas Thoth is thought to be the letter god. She's responsible for stretching the cord, which makes the length of a pyramid. He's going to talk about time. Page 47, linguistics. Buildings. Supposedly he's going to talk about God geometry over here. Composition of the human being, acacia tree. 2 different forms of the lotus. Numeration in the Temple of Hathor in Dendera. That's going to be on page 197. Squaring the circle. That is where theta is 8, or eta is 8, theta is 9. So you put the square of eta, a square of 9, with these two. This is where the square into the circle comes from. If you look that up in alpha-numerics sub. Here he's going to talk about utterance 535, the pyramid text. That'll be interesting to read. The meals, what that means. He's going to talk about the cubit, the original gods, in number 20. So here we see the cubit. Amenhotep 1 cubit from 3500 A. He's going to talk about the original gods, supposedly Shu, Tefnut, Jeb, Bet, Osiris, Isis, Set, Nephthys, the original gods, Horus, and number 20. So possibly he's going to talk up maybe say something about this, which I don't understand. And here we see he's going to talk about Egyptian Kabbalah, Gematria, which is a term I've never even heard before. Sounds very interesting. For example, over here we see that Barry's Greek Kabbalah is what got me into alpha-numerics, along with Fideller's Jesus Christ, Son of God, the Ancient Cosmology. And here you see he's got the Leiden I-350 Egyptian translations, individual numerical analysis. It's got all the stanzas going up to page 338. He's going to talk about Foster's translation of Leiden I-350, which is going to be interesting. He's got all these diagrams, trade routes, Egyptian tree of life, tomb in the pyramid, number 22 association. He has a diagram. That's going to be interesting. So that's it for this video. Stay tuned for the upload right here. See you later.